Spratly Islands, NHK meets with Vietnam's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Purpose of reclamation in the Spratly Islands. Compliance with international law and the Declaration of Conduct in the South China Sea. We will provide you with a summary of articles published on NHK. By TokioX'Press. Sovereign, land. Territorial dispute in the South China Sea. China, Taiwan, and other Southeast Asian countries continue to have territorial disputes in the South China Sea. China claims jurisdiction over the entire South China Sea based on its 9-dash line. Coastal countries fiercely oppose China. These include the Spratly Islands, English name, Spratly, and the Paracel Islands, English name, Paracel. China claims jurisdiction over almost the entire area. On the other hand, the coastal states are claiming their own territorial rights. The situation is a sea of conflict, and there are concerns that the situation could easily break out. Spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam. On November 23, NHK held a separate press conference with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam. Vietnam's Spratly Islands/reclamation. NHK asked a question about Vietnam's purpose for rapidly proceeding with land reclamation in the Spratly Islands. The spokesperson then emphasized the validity of this. Response from Vietnam Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson. We affirm Vietnam's sovereignty over these reefs. It has sufficient legal basis and historical evidence. Complying with international law and the Declaration of Conduct in the South China Sea. All related activities of Vietnam in this region are. It is completely legal and normal in Vietnam's sovereign territory. Of course, this is in accordance with international law and the Declaration on Conduct in the South China Sea. Visit tour sponsored by the Vietnamese government. Vietnam is speeding up development in the South China Sea, aiming to improve the patriotism of the people. The Vietnamese government was conducting a tour of areas under its effective control in the Spratly Islands. This has already been carried out for 10 years. Tours around the effective control reefs. We spoke to a Vietnamese person who participated in the tour. Tours in May 2022. Approximately 40 people in total participated, including Vietnamese and Vietnamese living in America, Japan, Europe, etc. Tour dates are 13 days. Participants boarded a Vietnamese Navy ship. They will visit a total of 10 reefs and oil fields in the Spratly Islands. They actually land in places where there are residents. They toured schools and temples and interacted with residents and military personnel. Opinions of tour participants. It was a very meaningful tour. Many Vietnamese want to know more about the situation surrounding the island's territorial rights. Many countries and regions have territorial claims. Some citizens believe that the island has been sold to another country. China reclaims artificial islands. China is proceeding with the reclamation of artificial islands in the South China Sea and is increasing its territorial activities. Antipathy toward China's territorial claims is growing in Southeast Asian coastal countries. Vietnam and China conflict over Paracel Islands. In April 2020, a Chinese Coast Guard vessel rammed a Vietnamese fishing boat while it was operating. The Vietnamese government protests against China, claiming that China sank a Vietnamese fishing boat. Vietnam firmly claims territorial rights over the Paracel Islands. Conflict between the Philippines and China over the Spratly Islands. 1. August 2023 Spratly Islands. While a Philippine transport ship was transporting replacement troops and supplies to a military base, an incident occurred in which water was sprayed from a Chinese Coast Guard ship. 2. October 2023 Spratly Islands. A Philippine transport ship was collided with a Chinese Coast Guard vessel after repeated dangerous approaches. 3. November 2023 Spratly Islands. A Philippine transport ship protests that it has been sprayed with water by a Chinese Coast Guard ship. ASEAN formulates Code of Conduct. ASEAN will strengthen its actions to prevent China's entry into the South China Sea. The aim is to formulate a code of conduct as legally binding rules for preventing disputes. However, the work is not progressing as expected. We will continue to monitor the situation closely to see what is happening in this area. Thank you very much for viewing. Released by TokioX'Press channel. Hot news from Far East.